friend and she doesn't really like you. She tells me when I'm sad, shows me all of the things that I should do when I am feeling mad. And I know I'll always love her, she's my family and mentor. I've got a friend and she doesn't really like you. She doesn't really like you. You can say that I should be more like yourself, but honestly, I don't think that we need your help.
What's up, reefers? Welcome back to another episode of Zoa Tank Boys. In this episode, guys, we're going to be setting up the Refugium and the Red Sea 350. We're also going to be doing a little bit of maintenance and an overall look at the tank. Let's go. Alright guys, so we just made it to our LFS. We're here at Sea in the City. So I am going to set up the Refugium. So the reason why I'm going to bring the Refugium back is because I'm traveling a lot for work. So tomorrow I do leave for about a week. So I'm not being able to be on top of my water changes as frequently. So the Refugium is going to help me with the nitrates. I do have a skimmer. I have started dosing, guys, so we will be doing a video on that, on the dosing regimen. But today I'm going to grab some Chaeto because we're going to get that Refugium up and going. I'm also going to do a little water change, and we're going to take a look at the reef. So let's go. All right, guys, so we got home. We got some water. I got some Chaeto. The tank is doing pretty good. So I haven't done a water change in about a month, and the reason being is starting to dose. I wanted to see where my levels would be without manipulating it. I also tested nitrates for the first time in a couple weeks. So they're anywhere from 25 to 50 ppms. So all the corals are happy, everything looks great. However, I am leaving, like I said, for work, so I want to make sure my nitrates are low. So I'm going to do a small water change, literally 10 gallons, which is about 10%, and the Refugium is going in. So if we look down here, guys, super simple setup. I got my skimmer, and then I have room for the BRS Refugium kit, which is literally an acrylic box with a pump. And I already have my grow light put in, which was a simple grow light from Amazon that I bought a while back. So that's already in with a little switch. So we're going to be doing a water change. We're going to set this up, and then we should be good to go the next couple weeks. So let's make some room. I do have my little maroon in here. Now, you may be seeing me with gloves. The reason I'm wearing gloves is because Chaeto typically has bristleworms in it. Often enough has bristleworms. Last thing I want to do is get poked. So I got my gloves on. So we want to make some room here. So I've been working on here for a little bit. So it's an acrylic box. They sell it on BRS's website. It doesn't come with the magnets. These came from a frag rack of mine. And the reason I couldn't use the original clips is because this was too thick. It does come with a small return pump, a small little pump here. I added some of my rocks in here just for extra space for the ponds. But what I'm going to be adding is the Chaeto now. Like I said, that's why I got my gloves on. So we're going to throw the Chaeto in here. The key to Chaeto is good flow and lighting. So you can see I have the light mounted up here. So I mounted it directly to the top of the aquarium, which you can see right up there with double-sided tape and some nails. But here we have the lighting, which I have it on a switch. So what I'm going to be adding is a timer. So regarding timing, I'm not too sure as to how to do it. I believe I'm going to do it opposite to my cycle of my lighting schedule. However, when I had my Refugium in the past, I actually ran the Refugium 24/7, and I grew the Chaeto like crazy. What killed it, believe it or not, in my opinion, was I had an Aptasia outbreak, and it went crazy in here, and believe it or not, in my opinion, that's what killed everything, because it looked like it was getting stung. So I'm gonna get the Chaeto, and we're gonna put it in here now. Alright guys, so here we got the Chaeto. Chaeto is a microalgae, And what it does, it absorbs nitrates. So one of my goals when I started dosing was to not have to dose, my goal with dosing was not having to do as many water changes. So dosing will eliminate you having to replenish those trace elements like alkalinity, magnesium. I can't even talk. Alkalinity, magnesium. This is gonna remove some of your nitrates. So your skimmer does a good job. This will also do a good job. I just tested my nitrates prior to working on the aquarium, and it was 25 to 50 ppm after 1 month of barely having a skimmer on and no water changes. This is gonna help me regulate it, and I did also work on the skimmer. But as you can see, guys, there's so much life in here. You see a lot of the pods. You see the pods? Snails, you can see them swimming in here. So this is all beneficial bacteria. This is all gonna help you. There we go, look at that. If you have a mandarin, this is also really good. You can I even see bristleworms in here. So this little guy right here, that, you can barely see it on the camera, but that's a bristleworm. And that's what I do not want to get on my fingers because it'll feel like a whole bunch of stinging hairs. So I'm gonna open this up here. I'm actually just gonna transfer even the water. My LFS, they harvest Chaeto there in pods, so I feel pretty confident with their water. Do you have copper? They don't run no copper. I don't know.
I wouldn't put the water.
Yeah, I agree. Alright, so there shouldn't be any copper. Blooper. There shouldn't be any copper in the water because copepods, I don't believe, thrive in copper, but she did bring a good point. So I'm going to drain 90% of it. That is a good observation. If you want to keep like mandarins, dragonettes, they thrive on pods. So having Chaeto will really help you in your quest to have more of that food that they like. Alright, no one left behind. Again, the key to Chaeto is having good flow, so it does move around. I think we're good. There we go. You can kind of see it in there. I do want to add some more agitation on this side because I do have the power head over there. But for now, this will be good. So hopefully that does the job. We also got the skimmer nice and fine-tuned. I'm going to do a water change now. Guys, I can see the pods running around here like crazy. That's a really good sign. And you can see them running around in there. So let's do a water change and talk a little bit about what's going on. So I got 10 gallons of salt water. I'm gonna do a 10-gallon water change. It is a little clouded because we were just messing around in the sun. But I will tell you, 90% of all the corals look pretty happy. SPS are doing great. So I'm dosing part A and part B of Brightwell. I'm dosing, believe it or not, about 5 mils a day, and that is doing really good. I'm using the Comore dosers. Now, that'll go to show that even in an aquarium with high nitrates, you can still do pretty well. I mean, everything is fluffy. I believe I have 1 or 2 zoas that are not too happy. And this is just regular whites on. I don't have a filter lens. So I'm gonna do my water change. Now, in a regular world, I do every week, every other week, about 20 gallons water change, and everything thrives. But I am running 2 tanks, and my schedule's getting a little busy, so I wanna make everything as automated as possible. So let's do this water change, and then we'll see how everything looks. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off my return, because the last thing I want is my ATO to kick in. Guys, I'll tell you, you have no idea how many times I've sucked in water. I even got sick once because I sucked so much water. And if you've been reefing for a while, you know what happens when you get sick from drinking too much salt water. So first 5 gallons, again, we're doing 10 gallons of water change. This will lower the nitrate some. So one of the main reasons I don't want to go too crazy with a huge water change skimmer in Chaeto is because I do not want to bottom out. So if you guys have been in the hobby for a while, you know that when you bottom out, you do risk dinoflagellates, which is top 5 most annoying things that can happen in the hobby. You can get over it. It just takes a lot of time, it's a big headache. So, all right, we're done with the first part. All right, guys, now it's time for the second 5 gallon. So typically in a water change, I'll also clean out the sides. I'm not gonna do that this time around. Like I said, because I'm hitting it kind of hard with the Refugium now getting going. The skimmer is gonna be skimming nicely, and I'm doing the small water change. Now what I'm gonna do when I come back next week, I'm not gonna do a water change, but I am gonna switch. I'm gonna clean the socks out and test the aquarium. Once that happens, everything should be pretty nicely dialed in. That's the gyre. And I even had a little bit of hair algae right here. Yeah, like we had some hair algae. So that happens. But it's been so long since I had hair algae, so that's pretty funny. Alright. Some of the SPS are experiencing low tide right now. As long as you're pretty quick with it, you really shouldn't have to worry about it, because that happens in the wild. Alright guys, so I always taste my salt water, and I'm going to tell you why. I know many reefers who have filled their tanks back up with RO, and they've topped their tanks off with salt. So you could have your refractometer out, or your fancy testers. I will just taste it. Now guys, in the coming years, I mean, my goal is definitely to automate this a little easier. But it's baby steps. This was pretty painless. All right, so we got the first gallon in, and we have one more to go in. All the time I get people that ask me, can we see your sump? How complicated is your setup? Guys, super simple. Before even the Refugium, literally, skimmer, I just started dosing. Before that, I didn't even dose, I just did water changes. So just stay on top of it. Unless your tank is full of SPS, you could probably get away with water changes for some time. I've been in the hobby for 7 years and I'm just now starting to dose. So a couple cool things about the Red Sea. It comes with this, I believe it's a 2.5 or 3 gallon ATO. So what I did was I have a 5 gallon bucket, which I placed there with an ATO, plus I have that other gallon. So I have about 7 or 8 gallons worth of auto top off, and that lasts me a good amount of time. So, switch this off. Now before the keyboard warriors enter the chat, there are more effective ways to do water changes. I got it. We'll get there, little by little. We are back in business. Alright guys, so I'm going to tidy up a little bit. And then I'll test nitrates again to see where we're at. But we should be a little bit lower than we were, and then we can let this thing do its magic. Alright guys, so it's been about 30 minutes since I did the water change. Again, still sticking to whites. You rarely see this aquarium under all whites. I do have an orange filter, so it could kind of get a better view. So 30 minutes in, everything is super happy. Everything is super, super fluffy. Euphilia garden doing well. Guys, this Duncan showpiece, I'd say about 6 to 8 inches across. Huge leather, everything is thriving. But what I'm really happy about in this tank, whoa, look at the yellow tank. Guy does not like me in front of the tank. Anyways, SPS are taking over. They're doing really well. So when I come back, I will do a deep, detailed overview on most of the corals and what's in store. If you didn't watch the video with Flame Valley, it is out. Check it out. That is the new aquarium that I'm working on. Innovative Marine 30-gallon long. This is what we're going to call now Fire Island because it's full of fire. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. But water changes are essential. Don't let anybody tell you that there's a shortcut. You can dose. You can use media that will help you out. However, the key, stick to your water changes and be consistent. All right, reefers. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode of Zoa Tank Boys. Now, you guys know we cannot end this video without giving one of you a shout out. So this comment I thought was pretty cool, super nice, and heck, I agree with you 100%. I'll put the comment right here. Guys, appreciate all the support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Till next time, Zoa Tank Boys out.